We got the steamroller, Matt Frevola, back here on the program, is going to be taking on Ottman Azaitar coming up here at UFC 257 on January 23rd. Matt, how's it going, man? Nice haircut.
Yeah, just got this fresh cut. Now I'm really ready to go.
I bet. And congrats, man. I mean, I know last year was really rough for you. We'll talk about that in a sec, but getting on this card, same card as Conor McGregor, you got to be happy about that.
Oh, yeah, man. It was huge. It was a rough 2020 for me, as it was a lot of people. And as soon as I heard about that January Conor McGregor pay-per-view card, I hit up my manager and I said, this is the fight we need to get on. And we manifested it and we got it.
And that's good management right there. Let's talk about 2020. A rough year for everyone, but I know for you, 3 scheduled fights did not end up happening. I know one of them was a corner testing positive. The last one, though, I think you had a fractured foot. That was what I was reading. What exactly happened there, and how long was the recovery time?
Yeah. The last fight canceled that I got, I broke my foot in the last sparring session. And it was rough. I even went out to Vegas a little bit early to have the UFC PI treat it. But they took an MRI and they saw the fracture, and then they called the fight. I could barely walk too. It was rough. But and then I had 2 fights canceled before then due to COVID, and it was a rough year. But in the end of the day, I was training all 2020, and I was improving my craft. I was leveling up, and there's really nothing I would have rather been doing. The only frustrating part was that I wasn't able to fight and I wasn't able to show the world. But, everything happens for a reason. And now we got this January fight, which is a huge fight. And I'm 100% prepared.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to it. And great perspective, by the way. I know a lot of people could be down in the dumps not getting to fight for the year, but good to see you made the most of it. Financially, how do you get through a year when you're not really getting a fight? Are you just saving money, or how are you dealing with that? I always wonder.
Yeah, it was rough. I was teaching privates here and there, but actually for one of those cancellations, the UFC actually paid me. So that
awesome. Good for you, man. That's awesome. There you go. Good company to work for. And I mentioned the foot. Was this sort of the ideal time to return? I mean, I know it's a McGregor card. Anyone would want to get on it, but is this the right amount of time for you to come back here with the injury?
Yeah, it was perfect. It was a broken bone in my foot, and bones, 6 to 8 weeks. There's no getting around that. I gave it to the 6 to 8 weeks. I was rehabbing the whole time because I had a little messed up shoulder as well. And, the rehab and everything, now I'm 100% healthy and I'm good to go.
Let's talk about your opponent here. Kind of a cool fight because he's undefeated, right? That's always cool to have that opportunity to hand someone their first loss. What do you know about him? How do you feel like you match up against him here?
Oh, I love this opponent. And, the fact that he's undefeated, 13-0, with all these first-round knockouts, that just excites me. It's just, a huge challenge, and I love raising myself to those challenges. And, he's very good. He's undefeated, like I said, and he's got a lot of power in his hands. And, I respect his skill set, but I don't think he's been tested like I'm going to be testing him. And, that's what I do best. These last couple fights I've been matched up against hype trains, and I've derailed all these hype trains, and I plan to do the same.
Looking forward to it. Training camp, who you getting to work with? Billy Q, your buddy. Anyone else outside of that in terms of training partners who you getting to work with?
Yeah, I split this camp between my home Long Island with the Serra-Longo team, and then down here in Tampa with Grace's Tampa South. And I was back home in Long Island training with Aljamain. I actually went to Vegas and got to do a week out in Vegas training with Aljamain at the PI. Training at 10th Planet Vegas with Alon Cruz and some guys over there. And then I was back home for the holidays training with the Serra-Longo team, with Ray Longo, Matt Serra, Eric Heyer, Marab was training always, Aljamain training, all those guys over there. And then finishing my camp down here in Tampa, Florida.
Excellent. And I know obviously you got a bit of a ways to get to, get to Abu Dhabi. The weight cut, does that get altered a bit just because of the extra travel time?
No, not really. I'm always trying to get my weight as low as possible, so it's really no difference. But, I'm right on schedule, and my weight is perfect. My body's everything is feeling great. Everything's
stuff.
on schedule.
When are you actually heading down there? When's your flight? Because I think you got to go to Vegas first, and then you go to Abu Dhabi, correct?
Yeah, we go to Vegas tomorrow, and then they fly us to Abu Dhabi on Friday.
Awesome. That's great. And who's making the trip with you? Who's going to be in your corner?
I'm bringing my Tampa guys. I got my head coach and manager, Matt Arroyo. I got my Muay Thai coach, Dan Rawlings. And then I got that kid I've been beating up my whole career, Billy Q, coming with.
Good company. Billy's a good personality, too. I imagine he must be a good travel buddy, too, right?
Yeah, we've been traveling. We've been traveling the world fighting for over 10 years now. So now we just get to go and do it in Abu Dhabi.
How's this fight playing out on January 23rd? Do you feel like you're going to get your hand raised? Otherwise, why sign the contract? But how do you envision the fight playing out?
Like I said before, I want to test this guy. This guy has a lot of first-round knockouts. But what's going to happen when he comes out there and he hits me like he's hit his last guys and I don't go down and I'm still in his face? I'm still coming. I'm still pushing. And I'm going to mix it up. One of my favorite things about mixed martial arts is mixing all the martial arts together. And that's what comes most natural to me. And that's, I think, what I'm best at is mixing everything together. So I plan on doing that to him and dragging him into deep water and finishing him. That's a big thing. I want to finish him.
I imagine the plan is to try and keep as active as you can just because I'm missing most of last year. Is that sort of the plan? Or I guess you'll just see how this fight goes and reassess?
Yeah, definitely want to stay as active as I can be this year. Planning on going out there and handling business. No injuries and getting right back to it and getting a fight booked as soon as possible. I'm getting married in September this year.
Oh, congrats.
So definitely want to get, at least 2 fights, maybe 3 fights in before then. And then, in the year, 4 fights in the year would be amazing.
Are you guys getting married in Florida? Because I think isn't New York kind of like all the regulations and stuff, right? It must be tough to do a wedding.
We're getting married up in New York, actually, out in Montauk.
Okay, gotcha. So a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, man. And hopefully, you gotta only hope that by September things will be back to normal. But we've been saying that for a long time, huh?
By the way, I don't think I've asked you this before. Are you a New York Islanders fan at all? Because I know Brian Kelleher is. He's like huge into hockey. I only asked that because the season's starting up tomorrow. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely an Islanders fan. I'm not like a huge follow and know all the guys, but I've been an Islander. Yeah, Islanders, Jets, Mets, Knicks.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, I think, if anyone's watching and you haven't watched hockey, I think hockey is one of the best live sports. I know you can't go to the games right now, but if you ever get the chance, definitely recommend it. This is coming from a Canadian who's a little bit biased, but what am I going to say?
And being in Tampa, I've definitely been to a few Lightning games too.
Oh, well, they're winning. They won the Cup last year. I mean, who wouldn't, right? They're on a roll right now, so that's great. Matt, thanks so much for the time, man. Great catching up with you. Safe travels over to Abu Dhabi. In the meantime, if you got any sponsors or social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, appreciate it. Just shout out to my gyms, Gracie Tampa South, Sarah Longo team, Sarah BJJ, Longo and Weidman MMA, my strength and conditioning, acceleration sports training, and everybody who tunes in to watch me fight. My longtime apparel, No Judges Needed. They've been with me for a long time. My CBD, Sunny's Wellness, they've been helping me out a lot this camp. And yeah, that's about it.